Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor. Today we've got the infotainment breakdown on the 2023 Land Rover Range Rover. We've got a 13.7-inch instrument cluster screen in front of us, a 13.1-inch Pivi, I don't know if it's Pivi or Pivi. You think British is probably Pivi, but Pivi would possibly work as well. 13.1-inch touchscreen in the center here. We're going to show you how to use them both. We're going to show you how to pair up a phone, use Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, test out the voice commands, and try to answer any questions you might have on how to use this system. Before we get started, let's hop out and take a look at the truck. The full-sized Range Rover here, coming with a nice suite of luxury and technology and capability. We've enjoyed driving it around so far, and we've been shooting a lot of videos. We've got a full breakdown on the Meridian 3D sound system. We've got fuel economy testing, full reviews. All that will be linked below, so check it out if you'd like. A lot to like about the new Range Rover. Starting up here in front of us, we have this 13.7-inch instrument cluster display. We've got analog style gauges on the left and right, giving us our speed and tachometer readouts. Starting up in the top left next to this gauge there, you see a clock. Top right, outside temperature. Then in your tachometer, you've got your gear that you're in. On the bottom of that, you have a little analog readout for coolant temperature. At the very bottom right, you have your odometer. Bottom left, trip meter, which you can cycle through at the end of the stock here. Get some other information about your trip, including average speed, average fuel economy, current fuel economy, distance to empty, and then you can blank that out if you'd like a little bit simpler display. Oh, and also get a date right there. Very nice. Then moving above that, you have a readout for your fuel remaining, how many people in the back have their seatbelts on, and what I like right there, a big digital speed readout in the middle of the analog readout. And then above that, you actually have your speed limit sign as well. It's nice. The center is controllable with the steering wheel right here. These lights can change depending on what functionality you're utilizing in the screen. So if we press the center button, we get a Trip A summary. But if I press the center button again, you can see those lights change, and now we've got directional buttons. Then you have a 5-screen layout for various settings. Let's go first, press right into the info panel. We can choose what sort of info panel we want to see in front of us. So either our trip summary, four-wheel drive information, driver assistance information, or simply a nice clean empty panel. Oh, and you can also have a little bit of a navigation screen or a media screen. There's quite a few options there. And then you press the center button to select one of them, or you can head back with the left button. I believe, no, you do have, oh, it's just taking a little while. A little bit of a delay here in the screen. Below the info panel, you can change your display layout. So if yours doesn't quite look like this, it might have been delivered to you with a different layout. If you choose map, that's going to give you a nice big map in the middle. Some people are going to really like that. And then you just simply have a speed readout down there in digital readout. Again, if we press the center button, then we're given that information on the left side. We can go again to display layout and switch to focused. That's going to have it look like this. It's kind of a nice modern layout with your information screen on the left, speed in the center, and a map on the right. You can also adjust what's in each of those info panels if you have this style screen out. So over there, you can get your media, trip summary, or your nav. You could probably have nav on both sides if you really wanted. Let's see. Left info panel. Yep, there you go. Oh, it switches them automatically, so you can't have both. Okay, that's interesting. Down under display layout, let's go back to that conventional dial readout here for simplicity's sake. Under trip selection, you can choose whether to see trip A, trip B, or an auto trip in that trip information screen. Head-up display settings. So we do have a head-up display there as well. You can turn it on or off and adjust the brightness and position and what sort of information is displayed. And then lastly, vehicle settings. You can see your tire pressure here. You can adjust what you want your tire pressure settings to be set at and see some other warnings as well. That's about all you need for your center information cluster screen there. Moving to our center 13.1-inch touchscreen. I like the way the screen works. I like the way it looks. And something you'll see as we get buried into the settings here is the screen works on a nice scroll-free layout. You shouldn't have to scroll very frequently. You should be able to press buttons and see all the information pretty easily on the setup. I think Jaguar Land Rover did a pretty good job at this infotainment system. Starting on the top left, you see a little person icon. That is going to be in order to choose your profile. You can add a profile, so if you have different drivers of this vehicle, their infotainment and climate and media settings are going to be saved. You can pair those up to a key and different profiles so that maybe if you share the vehicle with somebody in your household, their information can be brought up when they hop in the vehicle. This side menu here is going to be pretty persistent. Say, for example, if I open up navigation, we still have this side screen. It's going to give you hot toggles for different applications. Can you readjust them? Let's see. No, it doesn't seem like it. So what you get there is going to be pretty standard. And then on the right side, you get a persistent menu as well, giving you your clock, phone information, signal information for the car, a quick ability to bring up the 360 camera. It's nice to have that readily available. And then a settings icon that we'll get to later on. Moving along down the bottom left, we have first navigation. A nice, simple, easy to navigate navigation, easy to use. Very easy on the eyes. Big contrast. You can pinch and zoom. You can scroll around. You can adjust if you want north to be up or the heading of your car to be up. I really like how quickly it's responding to me. And you can type in an address, for example. Nice click sounds right there. Not the fastest responding system, but certainly not the worst either. Moving down the left side of the screen, we see our phone screen. And that right now is bringing me straight to Apple or Android Auto, which we're going to get back to here in a moment. But if you had a phone paired up and you weren't using Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, that would be your way to get to your contacts, your calls, your text messages, etc. Below that, we have phone projection, Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. We're going to get to that after this. And then below that, you have a vehicle information screen. This is how you're going to turn on or off your auto stop start, your auto brake hold, and your dynamic stability control. You can also switch here on the bottom to the ride height. You can adjust between off-road, which is going to raise the vehicle up, normal, or access, which is going to drop it down. Then the last icon on the left side is an app screen. We're going to get back to that here in a moment because I want to show you the center layout. 3 different sections of the screen giving you your navigation, phone, and media. It's sort of reading out information you might want to know, such as the road that you're on, which device is connected, and which track is playing in the media. And then some quick toggles within those as well. So I could play and pause media from right there. I could change inputs right here. With the phone, I could change which phone is connected or add a device. With navigation, I could quickly get to home or perhaps toggle my navigation source. I like how they built in this ability to access functionality of these apps without completely changing your screen. It's a really nice system once you get used to it. You can slide over to the right here and get more screens. You see slope assist, compass, wheel information, the ability to lock that center diff, and wade sensing, energy impact of your various vehicle systems, driving style information, and if you scroll all the way over, the ability to edit which tiles you're getting in there. So you could take something out, like maybe I don't care about wade sensing, and then instead I could put in something, I think we have all these, air quality, there we go. Very easy to adjust. Bringing us in here to the full apps list, we see navigation, already saw that, same with accounts. How about seats? Seats right here is giving you the ability to turn on and off your massage, as well as make individual adjustments to the headrest, shoulders, bolsters, lumbar, and cushion of both the driver and passenger seats, and turn on or off the heat. What's under more? You can fold the rear seats from right here. That is a nifty setting. And in chauffeur mode, that's going to make adjustments for those seats in order to make it more comfortable if you're chauffeuring somebody in the back right. Heading back to the apps list, we have a climate screen. Now we do have a good amount of physical climate controls down here, but if you want to maybe fine tune using the screen, you could do so right there. Another ability to get to your cameras. We've seen that already with a hot toggle switch. Android Auto, we'll get back to that. Valet mode, you're going to want to use that if you're giving the car to a valet to lock them out of certain elements of the vehicle, keep them restricted in speed. Eco data, if you want to see how economically you've been driving or different usage of energy in the vehicle, you can do that there. 4x4 information. This is going to give you a screen showing you all sorts of off-roading info, what your tires are doing, suspension, angle of the vehicle, the wade sensing information. That's definitely helpful if you're wading into some water. You want to make sure you don't go past that 2 foot 8 inch maximum weight height. And you can also see information for the various drive modes that you're in. Heading back to apps, you have one for low traction launch. So if you're in some snow or some sand, you at risk being stuck, you can turn on the low traction launch and do a good job, or at least a better job at trying to get yourself out. Vehicle dimensions, this is kind of cool. It's just a little screen that shows you what the dimensions and capabilities of your vehicles are, and you can change those meters there. Voice controls, we'll get back to that in a moment. There's your phone screen, your media screen. I guess we haven't gone into media yet, have we? Going in here, you can choose your audio input. Here's what your Sirius XM screen is going to look like. Scroll through the channels. Nice to have that nice visual way to do that. You can also go through player right there, browse through. We could get to maybe just sports, for example. Very nice. I like how large and easy it is to press all of these various elements of the screen. Even if you're driving, everything's very good, clear, and defined, easy to press here. They did a good job with utilizing the size of the screen. Cabin lighting, this is how you're going to change the color and intensity of your ambient lighting around your cabin. Air quality information, tailgate event suite. So this is going to toggle on the speakers back there that are built into the tailgate in order to play some music outside. You've got Amazon Alexa built in. If you like using Amazon Alexa, you can set that up and have her respond to some voice commands. An individual screen just for the vents. That's kind of interesting. And way down here at the bottom, a weather screen. It's interesting. Some people might want that a little bit more. So you do have to have a plan enabled to be getting your active weather. All right, let's take a look at settings. Down here on the right, we have the gear icon. Click that, and we're given a quick settings menu. This gives you the ability to turn the screen off, which is nice if you're driving in the dark and you don't want that glaring up at you. It's easy to turn on and off. Also, it enables you to adjust the theme. We've got this light theme or a dark theme, which a lot of people are going to prefer. It's going to be a little easier on the eyes. Or auto, so that in the daytime it's light like this, and then at night it is dark. You can turn on haptic feedback as well, and this is probably helpful to people who have maybe a bit of difficulty with their hands moving and want to be able to really push hard on a screen. Because right now you can just lightly tap things, but if you turn on haptic feedback, then if you just make little taps, nothing happens. You actually have to press in, and you get that vibration effect when you click things. Some people aren't going to like that at all, but other people are going to find that really useful. I think it's nice that Range Rover gives you the option. Down here, if we go to home screen, that's going to give you the ability to edit your home screen layout. Audio, that's how you quickly get to your sound system adjustments. And then all brings up all of your settings. And we have a pretty extensive list. We're not going to go into every single possible setting in the vehicle, but just try to get you to the more pertinent ones. We see more settings here for profiles. I told you about that at the beginning. That's where you're going to set them up. Under connectivity, you have adjustments for your Bluetooth devices. That's how you're going to get to pairing and unpairing different devices. Some settings for Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. The ability to turn on or off both the data connection of the car and connect to an external Wi-Fi network. You also have a wireless hotspot in this Range Rover. So if you want to be able to hotspot internet to different devices in the car, tablets or children's devices, if you pay for it monthly, you're going to be able to do that in here. Under vehicle settings, you have information for when the car needs to be serviced, the ability to turn on or off various driver assistance features, beeps and assists, and etc. Safety and security, so if you want different locks to engage or disengage at different speeds, or make a beep when you lock the car or unlock it, so we're going to adjust those settings. Exterior lights, if you don't want the high beams to come on automatically, you can turn that off here. Same thing, you can adjust if you want the lights to illuminate as you're pulling in and out of parking lots or doing slow speed turns, and how long you want them to come on or stay on as you exit the vehicle. Power tailgate, you want to be able to kick the tailgate open. You're going to engage that there. And also if you need to adjust the height, which width it opens, maybe you got a low garage, you don't want it to open all the way, you can change that there. Under convenience, windows, global open and close. So if you want to be able to open and close the windows with your key fob, you can turn that on there and make it so the roof blind opens and closes when you turn on and off the vehicle. Mirrors, do you want them to dip down when you put the car in reverse? Sorry, I know I'm going through this kind of quickly, but there's a lot of settings. I don't want to make this video too long. Automatic access height, so as you park the vehicle and get out, do you want the air suspension to automatically lower? Wipers, rain sensing wipers on or off. and winter wiper park. So we'll put the wipers up a little bit so you can blast them with the defroster as you get in, help melt them off quickly. Gear shift paddles. Do you want to be able to do paddle shifting in both drive and sport mode, or just in sport mode? You can adjust that there. Cabin lighting. This is another way to get through your ambient lighting settings. And the ability to change units right there. Various international settings. Under general, we have some settings for the voice commands. Oh, you can make your own wake word. What is this?
What would you like to set your wake word or phrase as?
Wake up. Oh wow, that's so cool. You can do a custom wake word. What is this?
Your wake word is
wake up. I wonder if it'll do profanity.
What would you like to set your wake word or phrase as?
Listen, motherfucker.
Your wake word is
listen, motherfucker. Ah, okay. I like that. I like that ability right there. Heading back, we have some display settings. The brightness, you can adjust the brightness there for the touchscreen. Stealth mode. Cabin lighting is dimmed when the screen is turned off. Oh, that's kind of nice. All right, turn the screen off. Everything else is going to get really dim. Haptic feedback, we saw that. A few other adjustments there. Master pin, used for the activation of valet mode. You can change your pin right there. Some time and date settings, and a system restore. So if you're going to sell the vehicle, you're going to want to delete all your user data right there. Some adjustments for different languages. Probably a lot of different languages you can choose from. Oh, yeah. Whoops. Didn't mean to change it right there. We have Czech, Danish, German, English. 3 different kinds of English, actually. Spanish, French, Italian, Hungarian, Dutch, Norwegian, Polish, Portuguese, Romanian, Slovak, Finnish, Swedish, Turkish, Flemish, Greek, Bulgarian, Russian, Ukrainian, Arabic, Hindi, Korean, Chinese, and Japanese. When's the last time you saw so many different languages available in a vehicle? Truly an international car. Okay, still more apps. You can adjust various climate settings. Pretty much actually only one, auto rear defroster. You can change your favorite button right here on the steering wheel to adjust what you want it to do when you either short press it or long press it. You can edit the layout of your home screen. An auto massage function. That's actually kind of nice under seats. I appreciate that. Some other adjustments there that you might want to play with depending on how often you use those various applications. Lastly, there's a software update screen. You can check here to see if there are any software updates for your car if you're connected to either a data connection or Wi-Fi. Okay, let's try out some voice commands here. So in order to activate the voice controls, I'm going to press this button on the steering wheel. Set the climate control to 72 degrees. Quite a delay there, but eventually kicks in. Turn off the climate control. Fan off. Navigate to the nearest Starbucks.
Sorry, there is no valid cloud subscription, so I cannot search for locations online.
Interesting. Okay, so if you're not paying for a cloud subscription for your Range Rover,
House number, street.
It's not going to be able to look things up. It's kind of funny. I feel like that's something that should just be included in the car for a few years. Maybe it was never set up in the first place for this car and therefore not working. That's interesting. So pretty basic voice commands. I assume we can't get weather either. Okay, good to know. If you're somebody who uses voice commands a lot, might not be super satisfied with that one. Now let's take a look at how to pair up a phone. Let's do the iPhone first. Bring up your iPhone settings screen, go into Bluetooth, and then on the vehicle, if you have a device connected already, you're going to have to press here and get to Add Device. But if you don't have a device connected, you'll probably have a big Add Device screen right there. Pair a new device up at the top. Use your device to search for Range Rover. So we're going to scroll down on a device and we see Range Rover right there. Press pair on the phone and yes on the screen, and press allow to anything that pops up on the iPhone. And then we have a pop-up on both screens saying use CarPlay. We're going to press yes. Do you want to switch? Yes. There we have it, CarPlay coming up. It's taken up the center screen, but you see we still have our persistent menus on the left and right. It does look a little strange when we're in this white mode here, but if we switch over to the dark theme, it looks a little bit more natural. Pretty large resolution. We're not seeing a bunch of apps coming up. We do have to do some scrolling. Not the highest fidelity either in the screen, but good amount of responsiveness. Take a look at our Apple Maps, or rather Google Maps. You can scroll around, but no pinch to zoom when you're using the iPhone. How about our YouTube Music? There we are. Let's hit the Super Mix. See what our Now Playing screen looks like. What are we getting today? Some Ellie Goulding. If we go back to the home screen, then you can see music playing on the right and maps on the left. In order to get back to the main Range Rover Pivi screen, you can just press the home button. Very easy. It's better than some cars that if you're in CarPlay, you have to press the app screen and then click home right there. One less step. All right, let's disconnect the iPhone and connect our Android device. There we are, Android Auto coming up, and Android Auto gives you a nice setup in this style screen, this landscape format. You've got big map up here, and then little weather and media down there. All the way on the bottom, you have a persistent menu that's giving you your recent apps, information, and then your app screen right here, your apps list. Resolution seems higher on Android Auto as well. That's interesting. Let's go bring up full screen Google Maps. You can see you can drag around and pinch to zoom in Android. Now we're getting those 3D buildings as well. It's pretty cool. Let's go over to YouTube Music. Hit our Super Mix. What are we getting today? Some Young Gravy. All right. Coming home, again, you can see that's where your media goes down there. This is going to give you kind of a pertinent information, if you will. So if you got some sort of navigation going, it might be giving you navigation instructions down there on the left. All right, so there we have it, the infotainment breakdown on the new Range Rover. Is there anything I missed? Anything else you want answered? Ask me in the comments. I'll try to get back to you on it. Hopefully I can answer. But overall, I'm a really big fan of the system. I think it's easy to reach, easy to use, decently responsive, all the inputs you're going to want. Very happy with how it all works and looks. If there's anything else you want to see on the Range Rover, check the link below, and we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.